Hey, how's it going? So, I have a customer and friend from Israel named Anat. She asked me to come up with a tuning that could mimic Omar Farouk. Let's see, what's his last name? Tekbilek, I think that's how you say it. He's a Sufi flutist. He plays the Turkish ney, he plays the kaval, and a lot of other Turkish flute instruments. He's a master, he's a genius. And one thing that I can't do with a Native American flute is just create the same fingering that you would have on, say, a low C ney flute and have it transfer onto a Native American flute. Part of that's because of this double chamber that we have here, blowing in and having this fetish or reed create the sound. It's virtually impossible to create all of the same notes. So what I have to do is I have to go in and listen to Omar's songs. One of the songs that she liked and that I like a lot is Kole Mi. That's an excellent song. And I'm able now to play this on this flute. I had to specifically pick out the notes that would play that melody on this flute, because with some of the high octaves, gosh, I think they get three plus octaves, and the notes change as you go up the octaves with the ney, all with different mouth positioning and everything else. So what I did is I created this flute here that can play Omar's songs, and it's a nice flute. It's similar to a ney, similar to a kaval, but it skips a few notes on the bottom, and it also is really close to an Aeolian minor. That's something that I've been making for quite a while now, and that means that you can play a minor scale on this flute. You can get the 5-note pentatonic minor scale that you can get on other native flutes. So if you're real good with your fingers, you can transfer native songs on this too. Let me see if I can pick out those notes for you. Let's see. Yeah, that's the 5-note. Yep, that's right. And so, as you notice, there's a blowing. I purposely left this one so it blows over to the high octave pretty easily. I can always adjust that in a little while if I want to. But this thing can achieve a high octave range to about, well, an octave and 3/4, I would say, that you can achieve with this. The reason why a lot of people think on Native American flutes that you cannot achieve high octave notes because of the way that this chamber is here. And the reason why is because if the notes are too high up to where the sound is produced, that it's virtually impossible to get high octave notes. When you take these exotic scales, Aeolian minors and Arabian tuning, even major scale tuning, and you shrink the bore size and you put the notes lower down on the flute, you can achieve more of a high octave range. It has to do with the distance from this hole to here. Look at the space there. That's quite far compared to a Native American flute would be more up here. That's why I can achieve that. So this is an excellent little flute. It's made out of a blue stain pine. It's a lightweight flute. It's actually pretty dense for a pine. And then we have Cocobolo accent stripes in here. I left the end wild. I like to do that. Leave a natural end on there. That's spalted maple on there. Great little flute. And again, this one's got quite a far finger spread. When I made Anat's flute, she has small hands, so I made it so this hole here was a thumb hole, so she's more comfortable playing like that. But I figured we could reach that, and I wanted to get the hole placement right, so that's what we got for this. Let me see if I can play a piece of Kole Mi from Omar's. I'm not great at this, so bear with me here. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Yeah, that's a piece of that song. Anyway, it's great. Gets high octaves, and I'll play around with it and show you what it's capable of. It's real similar to the Kaval tuning that I did recently. Maybe you guys saw that video on that. But it's an excellent flute if you want to expand your playing capabilities. This is a great one to choose from. Again, it's similar to Aeolian minor, but it also has that Middle Eastern flair to it. Really great flute. I'll just give it a play so you guys can see what you think. Okay. There it is. I'm loving it. I think it's great. And you know, oftentimes we shoot for clarity with Native American flutes. This low octave has a lot of clarity, but you can hear a lot of the hiss when it comes into the high octave. I'm blowing quite hard to achieve that high octave, but that gives it that Middle Eastern flair. If you were to hear a ney or a cabal flute, you would hear a lot of that. So to me, that adds that element. It gives it that traditional sound. So when someone is to mimic Omar's songs or those Middle Eastern songs, it actually has that flair to it. So I'm particularly a fan of that, and I love this guy here, and hopefully you do too. Of course, there's custom options always available. Again, you see that finger spread's a little far, and like I said, what I did for a knot, I just put the thumb hole in the back. That makes it a little bit more comfortable, you know. And some of these half steps are pretty close anyway, so that helps. And different keys, of course. You make a high C, that would sound amazing, I'm sure, and it would probably get 2 full octaves. So lots of different options. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll probably make lots more in this tuning and several others. Okay, have a great day. Take care.